wiped. Psychic powers suppressed. Nick Scryer is the ultimate plant and weapon against the psychic army. Yeah, we're taking a look at Psyops. This one is a cult classic coming at you for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. How is Psyops going to stack up? Let's go. Psyops is the story of Nick Scryer. Nick Scryer was a psychic agent. He was from the Mindgate. And Mindgate basically as a whole, it's a simple psychic stuff, whatever. But at any rate though, so Nick, in order to get through, had his memory wiped. After his memory was wiped, he was sent in with the general infantry, and unfortunately he was captured. Well, that's what they expect. But now his powers are awakening, and you get to join him on that journey as he rediscovers all of his powers and becomes the ultimate force against the conspiracy. So that's the general premise. It's actually a cool story, not just in premise, but the way it folds out. There's a few twists and turns, and you're not always sure who to trust. And I like that about Psyops. Is from the get-go, it keeps the story in a way that is interesting throughout. You don't see that a lot with these games, especially from that era. The thing about Psyops is it's all about the powers, and telekinesis is the first one you get, and it's the one you're going to use throughout every part of the game. So, kicking off telekinesis, if you've played Force Unleashed, you kind of know how the Force moved, getting stuff moved around, stuff like that. Well, telekinesis all started here. This is the game that made it vastly usable. Otherwise, you were stuck with the simple push-pull mechanics of other games. Not just talking Star Wars games, but any game that had a psychic mechanic. It was pretty dim, pretty simple. This one actually has you able to manipulate stuff in midair, push, pull, move, stack. Once you get very adept with telekinesis, there's only going to be places where the game forces you to use something else. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Then you get the second most useful power in the game, and that is Mind Drain. Mind Drain is the one that gets a little gory. If you ever seen Scanners, that is Mind Drain. And it, of course, fills up your psychic meter, which allows you to keep using more powers. Others, like Remote View, Pyrokinesis, and eventually Mind Control, fall under less usable. I mean, they have their purposes, but the usability of some of these, it just dithers from there. And the worst, of course, is Aura Vision, so we're not even going to worry about that one. Thing is how you use the abilities in conjunction with your weapons is what determines how you get through each level. And I like it. I rely heavily on telekinesis. You probably will too if you're playing like I do. So, from a gamer standpoint, I find this is a very easy game just to pick up and play. There's not a huge learning curve, but if you do choose to do some of the learning, they actually do have good tutorials where Barrett is teaching you how to use it. Coincidentally, he is also one of the bosses. Have fun with that. Loving it. I strongly recommend it, and the only way the game really gets you down is by throwing a crap ton of impossibilities at you at once. Once they start doing that, that's when you know they're trying to nerf your godlike abilities. So, morally speaking, what do you got? And you've got some women, risque clothing, not as much, but hey, gotta say it. Blood, gore, violence, gun violence, psychic powers, setting people on fire. All these things combined. If you have issues with any of that, military violence, pending apocalypse, aliens, and spirits. Any issues with any of that, and you're probably not going to want your kids to play it. It does carry an M rating, so hey, yeah. Any rate though, Psyops, I really enjoy this game. I would have liked to see a sequel. Please, WB, you acquired this with Midway. Please bring this one back. Moralgamer, moralgamer.com. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing you next time, and don't forget to check out both the review and gameplay channels in the links below.
I would love to stay and play, Nick, but I have business elsewhere. I gave you a choice. The offer is still open.